KSVY, Sonoma.
Bring back the thrill, bring back the thrill.
Bring back the thrill of the love that we shared when you cared. When hand in hand, I thought you, only you'd understand. Bring back the thrill of the wonderful life that we planned. Only we two, never lonely when I was with you. For we loved and we laughed in the sun, and the time that we spent was such fun. But I never thought we could part when I gave you my heart. So while you're away, night and day I will pray for you still. I'll wait until you return and you'll bring back the thrill. Return and you'll bring back the thrill.
Bring back the thrill.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Gilbert on KSVY 91.3 here in the Valley of the Moon. And today we have a very special guest, a star of stage, screen, radio, television, a million-selling recording artist, author of 2 books. My extreme pleasure is to introduce to you one of the great singers of the 20th and 21st century, Mr. Eddie Fisher. How are you, sir?
Wow, what an intro.
Well, it's the truth.
I didn't recognize myself.
How are you today?
I'm terrific.
Well, let me just say first off, thank you for joining us here at KSVY. It's an extreme pleasure, it really is, to talk to you. And all our listeners, I'm sure, are very glad to hear and know that you're okay.
I'm still alive.
Yes, you are, and very much so, and you got a lot of years to come, so stay with us.
I got a big thrill hearing Bring Back the Thrill I haven't heard it in such a long time.
That's with Hugo Winterhalter, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
And I guess Hugo Winterhalter's mostly on most of your recordings, right?
I would say he's a 90-something% of them.
What a great arranger, you know.
Oh, and what a wonderful guy.
Well, why don't we go back to the early days of Philadelphia and when you were singing in Temple. When was it when you first knew that you were going to sing?
I always knew I was going to sing. When I was 3 years old, I was singing.
Were you really?
Yep.
Can you remember any of the songs you were doing then?
On the Good Ship Lollipop.
Oh, there you go.
All the Shirley Temple songs, and
right.
Dick Powell had.
Was he a big influence on you, Dick Powell? I know Jolson was, of course.
No. Dick Powell was no influence, but I did like it. When he stopped singing, he became a detective, and he was wonderful at it.
Right, Richard Diamond, I think, right?
Right.
One of those? Murder My Sweet?
How do I remember those things?
Well, we're both about the same age.
No, I don't believe it.
Well, mentally I am. So.
Oh, see,
And
that I
physically.
knew you weren't.
Well, what was I going to ask you? Now, Jolson was a big influence to you, I know.
Yeah, in my early days, even in my latter days, I was a big follower of Jolson.
Can you remember the first time? Well, I know you knew him, but can you remember the first time when you met him, or the first time you saw him in a film? Or?
The first time I saw him was when I was working at the Copacabana in New York, and he had seen the show, and I ran after him, but he had gone. I saw the back of his head. That was it.
Oh, wow.
He had a great head.
What was it like to work at the Copacabana? It must have been a thrill, you know?
Oh, absolutely. That was the best, finest nightclub ever.
Yeah. I assume it's gone now.
Oh, I would think so.
Because I know about 20 years ago, a guy bought it and fixed it all up, and then I guess it failed or something. But
I'm just so surprised. Well, I think they did the wrong thing because they forgot that this Copacabana, which was copied from somewhere in South America, but it belonged in our vocabulary.
yeah. It's not that's the terrible thing, really. There's no night spots anymore for young people to go to and enjoy a show and get dressed up and see an actual entertainer.
I remember going to see Nat King Cole at the Copacabana, and that was one of the most thrilling things for me because I knew he was great, one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But I had never seen him in person, and the whole Copacabana was swooning at Nat King Cole playing and singing.
Wow.
It was so sexy.
Yeah. Well, his music was good music, too. I can't say it over the air, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, oh, yes. I
the thrill.
used Perry Como to make love with.
Yeah?
Perry Como music.
Now, you were good friends with Perry Como, I understand.
Oh, yes. I spoke to him just before he died.
Yeah.
He called me and he started singing a song that we recorded together.
Yeah?
And the nurse came and said, I have to take him to the bathroom now.
Oh, no.
So he called again
Yeah.
and said, I went to the bathroom with the nurse. I didn't understand what that meant, but I do right now.
Yeah.
I have a nurse who takes care of me,
Yeah.
and I'm a very lucky guy.
Well, what a career you've had, sir, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky.
And still have, as far as I'm concerned. I know you're not singing much anymore, but you were doing a lot of work in Japan and all over the country here in the last
Oh, yeah, all over the world.
cruise ships and things.
Cruise ship. I love singing I love bouncing side to side.
Right, there you go, getting your sea legs.
Yeah.
I was on the Crystal Harmony, I guess, and you were on there a week before I was, and then they played an interview with you and your lovely wife, Betty, at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they would play that on the closed circuit television. I must have watched it 5 or 6 times because it was a 3-week
One
voyage.
with Betty?
Yeah, it was about 1995, somewhere around there, I guess, 96.
My gosh. Well, we loved cruising,
That's the
so
best
I
way to go.
sang for our supper.
That's the way to go. Get a nice trip out of it and everything else.
Right.
What was I going to ask you here? I'm sorry, I'm stymied here because you're my idol, I have to tell you, Eddie.
Oh, come on. How old are you?
I'm 44 years old.
I knew you were a baby. I have kids much older than you.
Well,
Carrie's going to be 51
really?
in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks.
Can't believe that. It's just like yesterday she was in Star Wars, you know?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, time goes by too quick.
Much too quick.
And with that, should I play a song?
Absolutely.
Turn Back the Hands of Time.
Oh, you're playing all the right ones.
I hope so.
I know.
Stay with me.
Back the hands of time, roll back the sands of time, bring back our dream divine, let's live it over again. heaven all a dream, stars above were all agleam. We were only 17, but we knew. Chapel bells were all a chime, it was apple blossom time. While I held your hand in mine, our dream came true. Turn back the hands of time, roll back the sands of time, bring back our dream divine. Let's live it over again. Turn back the hands of time, roll back the sands of time, bring back our dream divine. Let's live it over again. Oh, to know your charms again, hold you in my arms again, whisper that I'm yours again, yours till I die. Oh, to find the stars so bright, love you till the morning light. If my heart could sing tonight, how it would cry. Turn back the hands of time, roll back the sands of time, bring back our dream divine. Let's live it over again. Turn back the hands of time, roll back the sands of time, bring back our dream divine. Let's live it over again.
Turn back the hands of time, and that's exactly what we're doing here on KSVR with our special guest, the one and only Eddie Fisher. And
Well, I'm having a ball listening to these songs. With such a long time, I never wanted to hear them. I'd heard them so often.
well, I know I'm playing a lot of the early
This is really
stuff.
thrilling.
Well, you know, Eddie, I wanted to ask you. You know how Jolson's voice changed around 1943 when he lost his lung?
Yeah.
Got so much deeper. And, you know, your voice now and in the 60s and up is just has that Jolson quality to it, you know?
Well, I tried real hard. I love that quality that he had. And also, another guy that I followed that not many people remember was Ezio Pinza in his 50s,
Sure.
was a matinee idol.
Right, yeah. Mr.
And his
Imperium.
singing, I brought my mother to see him in South Pacific, and oh my goodness,
Oh, I bet.
he could sing better than anybody in the whole world.
Mr. Imperium, right?
Yeah.
Right. Lana Turner.
Oh my gosh.
I know Enzio Pinza. Well, I want to ask you a lot about Eddie Cantor. Where were you the first time when Eddie Cantor discovered you?
I was up at in the Catskill Mountains at a place called Grossinger's, which was a very fine, first-class place for people to go during the summertime.
Right. And that's where he
And
was
I
just
was
up
a
there.
part of that world for quite a while. I got a lot of wonderful experience, and Jeff, I'm so overwhelmed talking to you because I haven't done this in a long time.
I know, and I sure appreciate you doing it, believe me.
My thrill that you're my new idol.
Oh, no. Well, we have something in common, see, already. You're
That's
mine,
what,
I'm yours.
That's what Henry Miller wrote in a book, To My New Idol.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm complimented. I'm
What?
beyond words. I'm beyond words. I sure appreciate that.
Me too.
Well, those were great days at Gross Singers, I guess. Huh?
Oh, they were fabulous. They were all rooting for me, and when Eddie Cantor came out, I didn't know, and I don't think anybody knew that he was going to ask the audience, would you like to see me take Eddie Fisher on a tour all over the United States? And that's what we did.
And that's how it started.
That's how it's... And every show I got better and better, and he saw it, and he wanted to become my manager. But my manager, Milton Blackstone, didn't think it would be a good idea.
No. And then from there, I guess you toured all over the country and did his radio show. And
and he did a whole television show for me when I went in the Army.
Really?
The Farewell.
Was that the Colgate Comedy Hour?
You know everything. You have to remind me, because I'm getting a little old. I'm over 44.
Well, that's okay. I remember there's a Eddie Cantor's Kinescope with you and Sinatra on there.
Oh, we were on the show together.
Right, yeah.
He had just had an outing with Ava Gardner, and his wrists had tape on them from him.
Oh no!
Tried to commit suicide.
Oh God! Well, that was a relationship there that was for the century, I guess.
I think so.
I heard one where he was in Palm Springs one night with Ava, and they were going around breaking all the windows on Palm Drive.
They did together?
Yeah, they were drinking one night and just wanted to do that, I guess.
Ava really she would tease Frank, and she'd go out to see Artie Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking out of school now.
Yes, that's okay. I said I wouldn't surprise you with anything, so now you're surprising me.
Surprise me.
Now you're surprising me.
Oh.
Love that Artie Shaw, you know.
Yeah. He was quite a guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry he passed, you know.
He was married to Ava and Lana Turner, wasn't he?
Right, and then Evelyn Keyes, I think.
Oh, of course. That's the last time I saw them up in the mountains in Spain.
Oh, right. They lived over there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I played chess with him. As soon as I walked in the house, I saw the chess set.
Oh, yeah.
He saw me looking at it, and he said, would you like to play a game?
Huh?
I said, sure. And believe me, I was not the best chess player in the world, but I knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
But I knew how to play the game, but this was Artie Shaw.
Right, yeah.
So we sat down, we played, and in short order, I beat him.
Oh, no.
And he went crazy.
I was going to ask you that.
He went absolutely balmy.
Oh, no.
Because everybody knew how great he was, this great intellectual band leader.
Oh, yeah. Really a genius, you know, before his time.
But he wanted to play another game, and I said, nope. Because I knew he would beat me.
Wow. Where was that? It was in Spain, right?
That was in Spain, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I remember reading that he had lived over there for quite a while, you know.
A long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
You must be more than 44. You must be at least 45.
Well, give or take a few hours, you know. What are you going to do? Well,
What are you going to do?
What can you do? I was going to ask you, I hate to keep pushing Jolson, but I know you loved him so much, because in your act you always do like a medley of Jolson songs.
I did that all my life.
I remember I saw you in Santa Rosa about 1984, 85, somewhere in there.
I'm that old, huh?
I kind of forget what year that was, but you were in Santa Rosa at the Luther Burbank Center, and I got to meet you backstage and all that real quick, and it went quick, but what a show you put on.
Oh, thank you.
Just the best, you know.
I had some very good shows, wonderful shows.
I'd say between you and Tony Martin, there's not a greater showman around.
Well,
You
now
know?
you're talking about one of the handsomest men, and he had a terrific tenor voice.
Oh, God, yeah.
But on stage, Tony Martin was king.
He was. He just knew how to move and command that stage, you know.
Well, if I could move like him, I would still have Elizabeth Taylor.
There you go. And I'm sure she'd be glad to have you. So,
I don't think so.
well, you never know.
I will never know.
If I can put the good word in some way.
Why now?
I don't know. Why do you need that at this stage of your life, right?
That's right.
Well, should we play another song?
Sure.
Here's one that you did in the album. It's called "You Ain't Heard Nothing Yet." I think it's around 1966 or so for Victor.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what that sounds like.
Oh, it's pretty good. Here we go with "Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody."
Oh,
Mr.
that one.
Eddie Fisher, right here.
Rockabye your baby with a Dixie melody. When you croon a tune from the heart of Dixie. Hang that cradle, mammy mine, right on that Mason-Dixon line, and swing it from Virginia to Tennessee with all the love that's in ya. Weep no more, my lady, oh, sing that song for me. Soft and low, just as though you had me on your knee. A million baby kisses I'll deliver if you will only sing that Swanee River. Rockabye, your rockabye baby with a Dixie melody. A million baby kisses I'll deliver if you will only sing that Swanee River. Rockabye, your rockabye baby with a Dixie melody. Rockabye, hushabye.
The great voice of Eddie Fisher with a salute to Al Jolson, "Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody." And I guess that was from around 1966, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I think you'd know better than I, but I tell you, listening to that, listening to all of the stuff that you're playing, but they all were very important in my life. And that I really did too much Jolson, I think.
Oh, I don't think so. You can never do enough Jolson.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, I love him. He was one of the world's greatest entertainer.
Yes, he was.
Besides yourself, of course.
No, not even near. Jolson was it.
Yeah.
He did it without a microphone. He did it on his knee.
Yeah.
And he was spectacular.
Everyone who ever said they saw him, they said it was like nothing else they had ever seen,
But he also knew how great he was.
Yeah.
Because if he'd walk out and see an empty seat in the audience, he'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got to have 1 minute of silence. Somebody must have died because they wouldn't have missed Jolie."
That's a great one. It sounds like Al.
Yeah, that's him. He was the egomaniac of all time, but he had every right to be.
I heard that at the country club, I guess Hillcrest.
Yes.
He would import herring during the war. When no one would want to talk to him, he'd sit alone in a corner or something. And then finally, when he got this herring, George Burns and everybody else, Jack Benny, I guess, started hanging out with him. And then as soon as that stopped, they didn't hang out with him anymore at the club, I guess. George Burns tells that story much better,
Oh, he was tough, though, with his storytelling.
Oh, yeah. What great entertainers they were, And, you were so lucky you worked with everybody. And I wanted to ask you about, when you first went on television, I know it was with Eddie Cantor, but what were you on with Jane Froman?
Oh, that was during the daytime show. I don't remember what it was, but she was doing a show for, I think, Army and Air Force recruiting.
Yeah.
which I wound up doing when I got out of the Army.
Yeah. When did you go in the Army?
1951, April 10th.
Wow. And then when did you get out? Around 52 or 3?
53.
Wow.
April 10th.
And that kind of stopped your recording there for a while because you
No,
recorded.
it didn't. I recorded all while I was in the Army.
Oh, you did?
On my time off, I had a lot of hit records.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was going to say, during that time, it seems like you did, Do you remember?
But we march with the guys in Texas, and they'd all be listening to my stuff on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Passing the radio around. That was the most exciting time of my life.
Oh, I bet.
2 years I spent in the Army.
And then when you got out of that, you went into Coke time, is that right?
A week later.
Oh, okay.
I went into the Paramount immediately, April 10th.
Wow. And then from there...
being in the Army was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fighter, I'm a singer.
Right. But what was I going to ask you about the Paramount, the one on Broadway, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
The one and only Paramount.
Which is long gone, I guess, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's with, what is it with?
Geez, I don't know.
It's the new...
That, by the Winter
New
Garden?
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay, exactly, okay. Geez, I didn't know that. That's
See,
what it was.
Even an old geezer like me. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe Eddie Fisher's an old geezer.
I don't think he is. Not yet. You got another 10 years or so.
Oh, Jeff, I'll take 2.
Then worry about that,
No, I don't worry about it at all. I've had a wonderful life. I'm having a wonderful life. And I'm, again, one of the luckiest guys in the world.
Oh, I can't tell you how happy we are to have you with us.
I'm very... I haven't done this in so long that it's a thrill, the whole thing.
I know, that's what Reno told me, your friend. He said that you haven't done this in a long time, and I appreciate you doing it, believe me.
Oh, I'm so happy because you like me.
Oh, I do. And the world needs to know more about Eddie Fisher than what we get on A&E or one of those. It's always about Liz and Debbie and all that stuff,
Well, they have to go with the women.
There's a lot more to you than that, though.
I hope so.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you about Rona Barrett. Now, didn't she start your first fan club?
She started one of my first fan clubs, but can I tell you what she said?
Sure.
Her first line in her first book said, can I say the word?
Sure.
Rona Barrett said that Eddie Fisher said that Jewish girls never fuck.
Oh, no. Hopefully that gets past the FCC. We can always edit that out.
I had 4 sisters. So I knew about women. That's why I learned about women from my sisters. Yeah. But I haven't learned enough. You never learn enough about women.
No, that's true. And
I'm a perfect example of that.
Right, yeah. How did you first meet Debbie Reynolds?
Well, actually, the first time I became interested in her was when I was in Korea, and we were doing, what were we doing?
Probably a USO show or something, or?
I've forgotten.
Maybe
I'll bet you know more about me than I do.
Well, I know you married her.
I did, didn't I?
And you have 2 beautiful children.
It was in Korea that we watched her in Singing in the Rain in a tent. It was raining, but I think I fell in love with her. I fell in love with her image, I guess. And she was terrific in that movie.
Right. Yeah, that is a great picture,
Oh, one of the greats.
And you had 2 beautiful children with her, Carrie and Todd?
Oh, yeah.
Right. What is Todd?
Todd is an architect and an electronic engineer. He works with his mother.
Oh, wow.
He managed or owned the hotel in Las Vegas that
right.
Debbie had. He built the museum
Yeah, I went up to that. It was really impressive, you know. Had a great...
Oh, yes?
Yeah, she had a lot of great things in there, you know, costumes and all that stuff that she's collected over the years, I guess.
Yeah. But Kirk Kerkorian from MGM wanted to buy it, but she wouldn't sell it.
She must have a who knows how much all that's worth, you know. She has the dress from The Wizard of Oz that Judy Garland wore and things like that, you know.
Oh, yeah. All
Priceless.
stuff.
But what should happen, there should be a museum in Hollywood somewhere besides in the old Max Factor building. I guess they have something.
They were going to, my son Todd told me that they were going to build this museum next to the Walt Disney, but I don't know. I don't think anything's happened yet.
Yeah, I think in New York maybe. Is that right?
No, in Hollywood and Vine.
Oh, okay. Because I know somewhere in New York they're opening something like that, a museum, but I forget what it is, you know. But you have a place there because you made 2 films, The Bundle of Joy with Adolphe Menjou and...
Adolphe Menjou.
Yeah, wow. The best dressed man in Hollywood, huh?
Yes, and I beat him in chess.
Did you really?
Yes. He hated me.
Oh, no. How was it like to work with him besides having him hate you?
Terrific. He was all right.
Oh, I bet, you know. Just seems like he would be, you know. And what's the other... Butterfield 8 you did with Liz Taylor?
I call it Butterball 4.
Butterball 4?
She won the Oscar, and I won the Harvard Lampoon for the worst performance of the year.
Oh, I've seen it. It's great, you know. You're underestimating your performance.
Oh, gosh. I'm not an actor. I wanted to be an actor. I forgot I was just a singer.
Well, you did okay, though.
Yeah, I did okay, and I have no regrets. Everything is fine. I'm alive and kicking.
And continue to do so.
I sure wish I could sing like that fellow you just had on.
Who was it?
I think Eddie Fishbein.
Oh, yes, Eddie Fisher. Should we play another record?
Sure.
How about
absolutely.
This is one that Eddie Arnold had a hit of, and then you got it, and it became a million seller.
Yep.
Do you still
my
have
first
your
one.
Do you still have your gold records, or?
Oh, I don't know where they are.
Oh,
They're in boxes.
Somewhere in storage, I guess, huh?
Yeah, well, I just moved, and so everything is awry.
Oh, I see. Well, hold on to those.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go with Anytime.
Thanks, Jeff.
Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, to you.
Anytime by the great Eddie Fisher, and you're listening to KSVY 91.3, and on the telephone we have the one and only Eddie Fisher. And what a pleasure it is to have you here.
I can't tell you the pleasure it is to be with you.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am, very much so.
You know what I wanted to ask you? How many times were you on the Ed Sullivan Show? So many times.
I don't know how many times, but there were many times that I was on the show, and one time where he took a vacation where I did the whole show for him.
Oh, wow. Geez, I'd love to get a copy of that.
Yeah, I think I have one.
Well, maybe we'll work out a trade.
Okay.
Right?
You got a deal.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I only have one show that you're on, and I think you sing Mame.
It's
a color show, you know. It's like from 65 or 6 when you did Mame on there, if I recall right.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah, that's a great... I wish I had that with me, but I didn't have it.
I wish I had it.
Now, do you still have all your arrangements and everything, or?
I have a lot, but not all.
Not like the stuff we're listening to, you know?
Well, the arrangements were different.
Yeah.
But you got the essence out of Eddie Fisher, I must say. I'm listening to myself.
I hope so. What was it like doing the Ed Sullivan Show? Must have been
it was
a thrill. You know?
Exciting because it was like the #1 show.
Oh, yeah.
And when you were on the Ed Sullivan Show, you were seen by millions and millions of people.
It's when everything stopped on Sunday night to watch Ed Sullivan.
Yep.
And before that, it was Jack Benny, I guess, you know.
Jack Benny was big as anybody could be.
Now, you're on a few of Jack's specials, I think, aren't you?
I did one. You had George Burns, and I had, Lou Rawls. We sang together.
Oh, wow.
And we were opposite Burns and Benny.
Wonderful guys those were, Jack Benny.
Oh God, they were so funny when they were off the stage, off the air.
And how lucky you got to hang out with all them, you know.
I hung out with most of them, you know, with guys like John Wayne and Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas. I mean, just everyone.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing.
I was a very, very fortunate young. Oh, I was young once.
Yes, and you still are at heart.
Yes,
right.
I guess I always will be.
Now, I think in 1956, when you were at RCA, I think it was you, Elvis Presley, and Perry Como that were keeping that company going. And you were ahead of Elvis, I think, in that year.
Yes, in that year I was ahead of everybody in RCA.
Really, yeah.
They took me up to the office, David Sarnoff's office and Manny Sachs' office, and they sat me down in the desk to look at their... showed that I had sold more records than all of them put together.
That's right. Wow.
It was heavy, pretty heavy stuff.
Whatever happened to Elvis Presley? How's that?
I think he became more popular when he died.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I think he sold more recordings.
Yeah, I think they're still selling. Obviously, you know. This is an off story, but Harry James was such a big gambler and all that. I read this book.
Oh yeah.
About him. And at one point, I guess he completely needed money so badly he would be paid before the show and everything else. And now I forgot what the hell the punchline was. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I forgot the end of the story.
I do that too.
I'm so excited to talk to you. It's throwing me off. Well, I can't remember now what it was. But something that Harry James would do. I can't remember.
I was in love with Betty Grable, not as when she was younger. When I got her the job at the Riviera Hotel playing Mame, I stood up on her booth during one of my shows, and I sang "Hello, Betty."
Oh, yeah.
And the bosses were in the showroom, and they were looking for someone to play "Hello, Dolly."
Yeah.
And they found her that night, and I was so proud. We had dinner together, and I was thrilled because I think she was more beautiful when she was older.
Oh yeah, she was always good looking. Just
yes,
the best. I love her in, what is it, How to Be Very, Very Popular, or one of those from the 50s. It was one of her last ones that she did, I think with Sherry North or something.
Oh, yes. I think Sherry North was supposed to be the girl to take her place.
Yeah, well, I think Betty filled out by that time, and she was at her full bloom of womanhood, so there you go.
I was so proud that the audience went wild when I sang to her, and the spotlight went on her, and it was really thrilling.
Well, she really was a shining star,
You know, come to think of it, I've had so many wonderful experiences, I couldn't begin to tell you. We don't have enough time.
Right, well, we can always do a part 2 at your convenience.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, should we play another song here?
Absolutely.
We have to play Wish You Were Here.
That's a very important song that I didn't like, but I found out it saved the show.
What was the show? I think it was called Wish You
Were Here.
And Harold J. Rome or somebody put that on.
Something
like that.
Oh yes, it wasn't a hit until my recording came out.
Exactly, yeah. And here it is, right here, with Mr. Eddie Fisher. Wish You Were Here.
Thank you, Jeff.
They're not making the skies as blue this year. Wish you were here, as blue as they used to when you were near. Wish you were here, and the mornings don't seem as new, brand new as they did with you. Wish you were here, wish you were here, wish you were here. Someone's painting the leaves all wrong this year. Wish you were here. And why did the birds change their song this year? Wish you were here. They're not shining the stars as bright. They've stolen the joy from the night. Wish you were here, wish you were here, wish you were here. Someone's painting the leaves all wrong this year. Wish you were here. Why did the birds change their song this year? Wish you were here. They're not shining the stars as bright. They've stolen the joy from the night. Wish you were here. Wish you were here. Wish you were here.
Wish You Were Here, Mr. Eddie Fisher, who is with us here on KSVY 91.3 here in the Valley of the Moon. And Eddie, bring us up to date on your daughter Jolie. I know she's on a TV.
Oh, I didn't mention Jolie. Well, she's on every Thursday night on Channel 2 here in San Francisco. And I'm so very proud of her because she worked so hard and she made it.
Well, that's a new show with Brad Garrett.
Yes.
From the Everybody Loves Raymond, for those who don't remember Brad Garrett.
Yeah, the show is called Till Death.
That's it.
Till Death.
What was it?
Do Us Part.
I saw her years ago when she was with Connie Stevens, And
No, they worked a lot together.
she was singing up on the stage. I
She's
think.
a darn good singer.
Well, she inherited her father's throat, I guess. What's Connie Stevens up to? Do you still talk with her at all? Or?
Oh, yeah. She's a wonderful lady.
Yeah, because you two are friends more than you are with the...
Yeah,
The
and
others.
she raised the children. She did a remarkable job because they're wonderful, wonderful kids. I'm not saying that but she did it all, Connie Stevens.
Well, I have to tell you, I have a crush on Connie and on Jolie, so...
Oh, really?
But I know Jolie's married, so...
Yes, Jolie's married.
So I'm out of the running. Right? I kid.
I thought I was out of the running, too.
Well, I don't know. One of these nights we ought to go out and see what we can do.
Let's do that. Jeff, I've become your number one fan.
Oh, I hope
Because
so.
when you picked out the songs you picked out and the things to talk about, it really is wonderful. You gave the essence of Eddie Fisher.
Oh, I hope so.
What you picked to play, and you made me look so damn good.
Well, you do, so there you go. Should we talk about Dean Martin?
Oh, hey, Eddie.
Hey, Pally.
He said to me, when I went over to his house, I lived across the street, but we used to hang out at his place. And I went over there in tennis shorts, white, and a red sweater. And I went up to the door, and it was open, and Dean was there, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, Eddie, you look like half a blood clot."
He was good.
That was Dean. He was the ad-libber,
Oh, yeah.
the funniest guy ever.
Bob Hope had nothing on Dean Martin, I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
He really came out with some
But I
jewel,
love
huh?
Bob, too.
Oh, yeah. Now,
He was
you did a few...
I met him twice in Korea and in Vietnam,
Yeah.
and then he asked me to go to Casablanca with him, which I did do.
Yeah.
I can't tell you all the wonderful things and places I've seen and been.
Well, you sure have traveled the globe.
Yep, and I'm again and again. I was very lucky.
Well, should we play one more tune here?
Absolutely, Jeff. I know it's going to be good because you're picking it out.
Around the World.
Oh,
Right here.
That has a lot of heart in it for Mike Todd.
Oh, there you go. Your good friend.
Yes, my best friend.
And here it is, right here.
Around the world I've searched for you. I traveled on while hope was gone to keep a rendezvous. I knew somewhere, sometime, somehow, you'd look at me and I would see the smile you're smiling now. It might have been in County Down, or in New York, in gay Paris, or even London town. No more will I go all around the world, for I have found my world in you. It might have been in County Down, or in New York, in gay Paris, or even London town. No all around the world, for I have found my world in you.
Around the world, Mr. Eddie Fisher, and you have sure been around the world, sir.
Boy, and you have taken me around the world, and I really had, a thrill listening to myself sing. Oh, I'm embarrassed.
I'll have to make you a CD.
Yes.
Put a bunch of stuff together. You know, your CDs are coming out left and right in England and I guess where else?
Yeah, I've seen them all over. In fact, I bought 10.
Did you? Well, that way you can give them to your friends, you know.
Yes, of course.
Well,
But listening to you, what you've done with me today, you're really giving me new life.
Oh, I appreciate that, and I hope so. Let's ask you about Betty Lynn. Now, you guys were married in the early 90s.
Yes.
And that's what brought you to San Francisco.
No, what brought me to San Francisco, I was doing a 10-day concert tour.
Yeah.
And I wound up in at the Paramount and across the bay.
Right, yeah, in Oakland.
Yes.
That's a great old theater.
Here I go again. You know, something, I think I'm getting Alzheimer's.
Well, that's all right. Don't worry. That's how you met there, I guess, huh? You'll be okay.
What were you talking about?
About Betty.
Oh, my gosh.
How you met her, you know.
She was the greatest, the only wife I really had.
Yeah.
She was truly a fine, great, loving, fun-loving, and she was a big fan of mine, and I was the biggest fan of hers.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody like her.
Now, when did she pass away? Just 2 years, or
5 years ago.
5 years already. God, it doesn't seem that long.
5 years, April 15th.
Wow. Well,
But she was the greatest.
and she thought you were the greatest too, sir.
Oh, she would jump up and down when I would perform, and she'd act like a bobby soxer. She just loved to hear me sing. I guess I promised her if we got married, I'd sing to her every day.
And did you?
No, I don't think, not every day. I would now that I've heard myself through your...
Yeah, there you go. Start up. You know, do you sing around the house at all, or?
No. Well, I do sometimes when recordings come on that I know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have a wonderful piano, and piano player comes over once in a while, and we hash out old songs.
Oh, beautiful. Because Eddie Fisher cannot be silenced. we must hear you
Not
more.
with you around.
Well, I hope where eventually you could make another recording, because your voice is as good as it ever was, if not
On the
better.
records.
If not better, you know, because you're older and your voice is nice and deep. You know, you got that.
You want me to become like a baritone, a bass.
There you are, Mr. Lawrence Tibbett.
Oh my gosh, Lawrence Tibbett.
Or Carl Brisson, one of those guys.
How do you know Lawrence?
Oh, I'm odd, Eddie. I know
You're
them all.
odd?
I know them all.
Oh,
I go way back,
that's the answer.
I even go back to Vernon Delart.
Who?
Vernon Delart. Now, see, there you go. He was on the flip side of Jolson Records, you know. I think on the Brunswicks.
My gosh, you're aware of everything.
One of those guys. Well, what a pleasure it has been talking with you, and we won't take up much more of your time here. And
But listen, I want to do it again, if you will.
Oh, I hope so. I'd love to. Anytime, you know.
Well, I have a lot of time on my hands.
Well, it's a date, and I think I have that record, but not with me. That would have been a great song cue right there.
What song is that?
Time on My Hands.
Time on my hands.
Now, did you know?
in my arms, nothing but love in view.
The voice is still there, sir. You must make some more records. Did you know that?
Sitting down and so relaxed, I've had a wonderful time.
Oh, I hope so, and we sure appreciate it here at KSVY.
And I appreciate what you played and how you did. I'm a big fan of yours now.
Oh, thank
so
you.
use me on your show.
Oh, I hope so. We will. It's a date.
Okay.
Mr. Fisher, Eddie, I thank you so much, and we're going to finish out with I Am What I Am.
Oh, my God. I have to hear that.
We'll stay on the line. I'll
right.
give you a call in a little while. Thank you, sir, and continued good health and happiness.
Thank you. Same to you, Jeff.
And Happy New Year in L'chaim.
Again, thank you, L'chaim.
Here we go.
I am my own special creation. So come take a look, give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I wanna have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. Drum. Some think it's noise, I think it's pretty. It's my song, and if you don't like the style I bring it, my song, so at least respect my right to sing it.